Welcome back to Crypto Front. This is the front line where we are fighting together side by side for financial freedom. We've got some breaking news here for Xcn Onyxcoin. Binance is actually going to be listing Onyxcoin, but there is a catch by there because what we see here is that they're actually going to be listing Onyxcoin not on spot, but on perpetual contracts and stuff like that. So let me explain that real fast to you, but let me take you to the official announcement so that you notice that I'm not just saying things out of my own mind. So this is the official announcement here that Xcn USDT perpetual contracts going to be listed right there today, which is at the time of recording this video. This is going to be an hour and a half from now. So yeah, we're going to be seeing Onyx being traded on Binance real fast right there. It's a very tricky situation. Let me explain to you once again. I think that, it's better if they had listed this whole thing on spot rather than on perpetual contracts, because yes, it's traded on Binance, but actually if you're in a trade, right, if you're in a futures trade using margin and leverage and all sorts of different, complicated things for a lot of people. So this is not, directly going to be bringing more demand to the Onyx coin. So I don't like it in that regard. However, I think it's also good in the sense that it can increase these volumes. We're seeing that we are trading around $600 million, I think, with the Binance. Even if it's a perpetual contract listing, this trading volume can actually go up a little bit much more, right? Now, I wanted to show you something here, which I think is also a little bit fishy. I don't have a lot of evidence to this, but there is this exchange which is called XT. A lot of people say that this is actually a Binance exchange which operates in a different country where Binance is not allowed to operate. And we actually see that in the last 24 hours they were trading like 24% of the volume which were traded on perpetual contracts. So if Binance had already been trading this whole thing and now they're making the announcement, could this also be just like a sell the news kind of an event and negatively affect the Onyx price in the immediate short term? This really remains to be seen, but I think I wanted to show you that, yeah, we're celebrating that there isn't a listing here. Maybe for now we can look at it in an optimistic manner and say that this is probably their first step in the right direction of eventually listing Onyxcoin on spot, where people can literally buy and sell the underlying asset. For now, that is not possible. I don't know if they're going to come up with another announcement, but as of yet, that's not the case by there. If you also take a look at the chart, let me show you the immediate short term right there. But before I do that, I want to kindly ask you to help me spread the video by delicately tapping the like button. It really helps the YouTube algorithm, and people looking for Xcn Onyxcoin updates will now be able to find this video much more easily. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, because I do TA on Onyxcoin and a number of other different altcoins on a regular basis. You know what? I'm looking at the 5-minute chart here. Why? I don't usually do this, but because this is a news event, I think we have to see like the instant movement of the price, and we can see here that there is somewhat of a symmetrical triangle that is formed, and usually symmetrical triangles are continuation patterns. So when you look at one of the thickest parts here of this triangle here, you could consider that the price can pump at least 20% in the immediate short term, taking the price to something around, I would say, 2.7 cents, right? So because I'm not just talking about these things, I'm literally putting my money where my mouth is. I actually announced this trade earlier on in the Discord, and it's sitting in a slight profit right now. We'll see how everything goes right there, but I just wanted to point out that, look, it's not all sunshines and rainbows when Binance goes ahead and lists something, especially on futures rather than spot. I just don't have a very good feeling about it, because they can just play around with the price and, lead people to pile in, or maybe at least people not to sell here after a huge run that Onyxcoin has had. So yeah, a very complicated situation. If it was a spot listing, I would be, telling everybody that, it's time to get in, obviously. But because it's a futures listing, I am not really 100% sure about it. But if we also take a look at the chart here from, retracement perspective, from the very top until the bottom here, you can see that we are also testing the second Fibonacci retracement level right there. So yeah, it's a rejection zone. Let's really see what happens. My fingers are crossed that this is not some kind of shenanigans happening with Binance, and they're just listing it so that some people can have an opportunity to short it towards the downside. So we'll see what really happens right there. Again, the main aim of this video, I made a video yesterday saying that, look, the fundamentals here are looking very good. The underlying indicators and everything else is looking very good. If you want, you can also just watch that video. I think it's going to be there at the end of this video. But when things like this also happen, it's like, okay, what really is going to be happening? So if you're confused, yes, I'm optimistic, but I'm very cautiously optimistic on what is happening right here. So yes, I'm in a trade But once again, my stop loss is very much tight. The details I've already explained in the Discord group that we have. If you want to be joining that group, which we have actually taken some amazing trades, you can see some of them right here. You can also see this one here. You can also see this one and probably this one too. So you can join using the link that is down there in the description. So let's see how the Onyx coin trade is gonna do here. We're trading it on a 5-minute chart. Very risky, but again, because this is a news event, it's something that I really much tolerate right there. So we'll see. Thank you so much for watching the video. I'll see you on the next one. Take really good care of yourselves. Bye bye.